build all of these epic champions so that you guys don't have to. What is up, guys? This is Corbin. This is grading every single epic champion I've ever taken up to level 60 on my main account. Gonna go ahead and sort these guys by faction. Ooh, nice. We get a start, man, with the booba lady herself. Yes, I'm very, very mature. And a quick disclaimer at the start of this video, man. All of these opinions are just that in this video, right? These are just gonna be my opinions, and I just want you guys to know that they were handed down on a stone tablet from Mount Sinai, and nobody can question my grades in this video. They are the word of God, and if you disagree, you're just wrong, okay? That's just the way it is. And if you can't tell that I'm joking right now, well, I don't know what to do for you, man. First off, Lady Annabelle, could she be anything other than A+ tier? Like, what are we even... Dude, my wife edits these videos, by the way. What am I doing? Getting myself in trouble, man. Hey, all seriousness though, Lady Annabelle, I'm gonna grade Lady Annabelle with an A tier. Very, very good champion, man. Doesn't require any skill books at all, even though I did fully book her on up. She is used on this account, even though I'm using the regeneration gear on a different champion right now. She's used as a regeneration set beast that just never dies, and I use her to solo Dreadhorn Bommel on this account. That's like her one use, but she does it bloody well, and anytime I can use her against Dreadhorn Bommel, she's just a free cheat code, man. I don't know, I can't give her anything less than an A tier. Next up, we've got Lordly Legionary, who... you might be able to tell he's got no gear equipped, so that tells you what I think of this guy, man. I built this guy out for a busted or bad episode. Frankly, yeah, not very good. In the bad category, really. Gotta give this guy a D tier. He's kind of sold as like a Fire Knight specialist, all that. The only good thing he actually brings into Fire Knight that's practically useful, I guess he brings a double hit at A1. Okay, fine. He brings 100% land, decreased speed debuff. Is he worth building for that reason alone? Well, if you got no other option, I suppose, hopefully you've got anything else other than Lordly Legionary that brings a decreased speed debuff. For him, it can't be anything other than a D grade, which D, frankly, is as low as I'm gonna go. Hey man, real quick, if you're looking to start off a new raid account, by the way, make sure that you get that done the best way possible using a beginner promo code handed down. What's me with my like god analogies today? Zeus himself, okay, provided me with this beginner promo link, man. It's just that good. Basilius Ranus is your free start legendary champion. Whole bunch of free epic champions. As you level up your account, all you gotta do is create that new raid account using the beginner promo link that is down below at the top of the description box, man. Click that link right now, man. Get set up with a new free-to-play account the best way possible, or send that link to a friend, man, and get them playing Raid Shadow Legends with the greatest start imaginable. Okay, let's jump on to Neldor Rhymeblade, who, you know, man, I'm just gonna grade him at an A tier straight away. I don't use him in many areas of the game, but don't really need to. He's a specialist epic champion at the end of the day. Triple hit at A1, chance of placing freeze, great for hard mode Fire Knight. Not that amazing many other places. I mean, his A3 is quite good for waves. Attack all enemies 2 times. Chance of placing decreased speed. You know, it's fine against wave content, but really, hard mode Fire Knight specialist. Can't say I regret building this guy at all. Next up, Skaramis. I mean, the absolute just beast Astartes looking son of a gun that he is. Very, very cool champion. I think though I have to grade Skaramis at a B. I built this guy more because I think that he's a total badass, more so than actual need. He brings all kinds of crazy like 10 meter steel and a chance to stun mechanics on his A1, as well as like counter attack buffs and stuff like that, so he gets a lot of value out of that A1. He's also a pretty damn good provoker as well, with 100% land rate provoke and a 310 cooldown. Very, very cool on the A3, and he brings a decreased attack debuff at a 75% land rate on the A2 as well. I think what's really cool and unique about Skaramis is that even though I'm going to grade him at a B tier champion, because I still use him very, very actively in wave content and stuff like that, and if I need a decreased attack champion in like Cursed City or something to take into like an Ice Golem fight in there, he can do that job as well. That's great. What's cool about Skaramis is that you have the opportunity to build him as a Mischief tank into Hydra, where he's handling the provoke job against the Head of Decay, build him nice and fast and with high resistance stats, and potentially with like increased resistance buffers on your team and stuff like that. And then because he's got a lot of unique buffs for himself, continuous heal and counter attack, he attracts all of the attacks from the Head of Mischief, and it's trying to steal those buffs off your Skaramis, right? And it's ignoring everybody else in your team, most importantly. So he can tank the Head of Mischief, he can resist the Head of Mischief's attacks, and yeah. If I used him for that role on my account, I'd probably put him like an A tier, but yeah, I just pulled him and built him a little bit too late. Next up, Royal Guard. Oh my god, I think Royal Guard's going to be our first S. As far as epic champions go, I think that we don't even have S. What am I talking about? These are grades, goddammit. A star, okay. gosh darn it, I should say. Royal Guard's going to be an A star, purely because I still use this guy in my Spider speed farm team alongside a couple of Cold Hearts for his insane enemy max HP smack on his A2. Amazing skill into basically all of the dungeons. I used him actually in my team that cleared normal mode Fire Knight for the first time as well, so I got great value out of him there. Also, used him in some of my like hand-me-down Hydra teams also. Just a great champion. He's particularly good in these dungeon speed kill teams because of his ally attack aura in dungeons as well. 35% ally attack aura in dungeons. Like, I know it's limited to just dungeons, but this is like an unprecedentedly strong ally attack. This is like better than Thor's ally attack aura, which I know that one's all battles, but even still, man. Also brings, of course, his quadruple hitter on his A3 as well. Chance of placing decreased speed and decreasing enemy turn meter. Good into Darkfire, Fire Knight. The decreased speed is fine, I guess, into Hydra as well. Just solid many areas. Great epic champion. A star for him. Ethelyn the Golden. I'm gonna give Ethelyn a C+, maybe a B-, for the only reason that I was a bit disappointed by his performance in Chimera at the end of the day. I did level him up to use him in Chimera, actually. I was just curious to see how he'd perform there, because he does bring block active skills, and he does bring a True Fear debuff, so he can help counter both the Viper form as well as the Ram. Problem is, the rest of his kit is a bit lackluster into PvE situations for that use, right? He provides a self-shield on his A1, which is fine, it's just nothing remarkable, and then he self-buffs with increased crit on the A3, which is also just kind of fine, you know? So I was really quite let down with the guy into Chimera. As far as PvP went, I would have given this guy a very solid B score, maybe even like a low A, if I built him earlier on my account for use as an arena nuker, which is what he's really all about, right? Self-buffs, gets an extra turn, and then smacks in with a big block active skills AoE smack in arena. This is very effective and very nice. He's kind of comparable almost to a slightly different flavor of Genbo as far as like epic nukers go in arena, so very solid. Deacon Armstrong, A star, no doubt about it. This guy's an absolute monster. I built him very late on my main account. I just didn't pull the guy, and I still find uses for this guy like everywhere, dude. In like hard dungeons and stuff like that, right? Absolute wave control monster. I won't review his kit. You know him, you love him. He had to have an A star, really. Of course he does. Next up, Phenax. Honestly, I'm gonna give Phenax not quite an A star, not quite an A+. I'll give him an A. I think that he's worth that. At the very least. This is a very good champion, man. This is another champion that I way underestimated for the longest time. I was trying to progress in hard mode Ice Golem. Only just recently put Phenax into the team. He changed everything. His A1 is just insane, right? The attack multiplier on this and how hard this thing can hit is just unbelievable. And then it gets an extra hit if the target has any debuffs, which is just even more ridiculous. And then enemies killed by this skill cannot be revived, which makes him an absolute beast into hard mode Golem. And so, yeah. For that use case alone, the fact that I built this guy so late and then still found use for him into current content that I'm progressing in, I think speaks to how bloody good Phenax is. He's great in many other areas of the game as well, but that's how I've been using him. Very good. Godseeker Aniri, man, we're going through some really damn good ones here. Godseeker is another A+ epic champion. I can't give it anything other than an A+. Very good. We're going to get to some bad ones. Don't worry, very soon. But Godseeker has got to be an A+, purely because I use it in my 2-man Sand Devil clear team. I use Godseeker Aniri plus a Ninja. I have a built-in regeneration gear and immortal gear. Her only job is to live and have the correct speed tune in that dungeon. And, you know, Godseeker plus any HP burner champion really can completely duo clear through all stages of Sand Devil and completely solve that dungeon for us on this account ban. So, yeah. Again, I can't really give anything other than an A+ for her. Same thing for Inquisitor Shabil, dude. Incredible champion, A+, no doubt about it. God tier into Hydra. I was expecting a lot from this champion, and he still impressed me, dude. Each crit fills his turn meter by 7.5% whenever an ally receives a Fear or True Fear debuff from an enemy, like they get spammed by that crap from the Head of Torment in Hydra. This skill will instantly remove the debuff and fill the team leader's turn meter by 15%. Oh man. And this clip right here is my first time ever clearing the 100 million damage mark in Nightmare difficulty Hydra, using Thor as my team leader and having Shamil just spam buff the crap out of the Thor's turn meter pumping ridiculous amounts of damage into Nightmare Hydra for the first time. I've since beat this Hydra damage score, but for when I pulled Shamil and got him involved in the team for the very first time, the difference he made, I mean, he tripled my Nightmare Hydra damage, man, with him in the team. And as you can see, we finished up on like 180 million, you know, which at the time was an easy sort of account record. Next up, we've got good old Haikatoon, way underrated by way too many people, man. People act as if Haikatoon, oh, she needs buffs, man, she needs buffs. No, she doesn't. She's very, very good. Okay, she's very, very good as is. 90% speed aura in all battles, increased speed buff, strong version, 10 meter fill, 10 meter control on an AoE, and even a decreased speed debuff on her A1 as well. Does she earn an A grade? Nah, I don't think so. It's probably more like a B minus, but even still, I think that most people put Haikatoon at like a D or a C. If you would like provide a census and everyone was to like be grading their champions, I think that I'd be rating Haikatoon above average. I do think that she's worth the B grade, man. I think that she's really quite good. You've also got to bear in mind how easy she is to get. You get after 30 days completely for free. If you don't have an increased speed buffer champion on your account until that 30-day mark, she's an unbelievable upgrade. Even if you do have an increased speed buffer on your account, you probably don't have a speed aura champion on your account after just 30 days. And so even for that, she's immensely useful. Classic arena in the super early game, tag arena eventually when you kind of get downgraded a little bit in your use of Haikatoon. I don't know, man. I think that she's still a great dude. Next up, Farrakhan the Fat. Now, I've got to be honest, of course my Farrakhan isn't even level 60 yet. Frankly, I've not used him anywhere in the game. I can't even really grade him for that reason. This is another champion that I just didn't pull until so late, and then suddenly I realized after many months had gone by, oh my god, I have like an empowered Farrakhan the Fat. I should probably just build him for the sake of having a one built. I can tell you something though, I'm gonna grade him as an A+ anyway, dude. How can I not, man? Look at him, dude. No, in all seriousness, Farrakhan is an unbelievable Chimera champion, great clan boss champion, fantastic Fire Knight champion. He's obviously great into many areas, you know, and so I don't need to have used him on my account to know how bloody good he is. I've used him on a free-to-play account in the past, and he was incredible there as well. I know how good this epic is, man. Next up, Ugo, A+. I'm just going to skip over Ugo. One of the best epics in the game, easily in the conversation for one of the top 3 epic champions in the game, Void epics included. Yeah. Fantastic champion, almost a legendary, if not outright a legendary quality kit on this. It couldn't be anything other than A+. Skrank, I'm going to give Skrank an A. The fact that he's a Void Affinity mass HP burner champ, this was one of the champions that got my foot in the door in terms of getting started in Hydra for the first time, and so love this guy, man. Skrank is great. Next up we've got Siege Hulk. I'm going to give Siege Hulk a C. I'll give him a C. For the only reason that Siege Hulk, he lacks longevity on the... I love this guy, by the way. I love Siege Hulk, man. I can't give him any higher though than a C grade. Just because he's a jack of all trades, master of none, which means that he will eventually drop into obscurity on your account a little bit. Might still use him in faction wars and wave content and stuff for his AoE decreased defense, and he can hit rather hard. Siege Hulk's issue though is that he only brings one attack all enemies skill, and his decreased speed debuff on his A3 is only single target. And his 10 meter control on his A1 is only 15%. So he does like a lot of little jobs quite well, you know. He's great for like early game spider progression. He can be used for some like early game Fire Knight progression as well. Maybe even super early game Chimera if you pull him early enough. Darkfire, that kind of thing. He's actually like pretty good into Darkfire. But he's not really a god in any of those areas. And so it's a C grade for Siege Hulk. Grush the Mangler. D. I tested out this champion not too long ago. I was expecting great things. I was let down, man. This is one of those champions that I built for a video, and it just wasn't very good. It just wasn't very good, man. I don't know, like his kit reads a lot better than it actually is in practice, right? He's got a high land rate leech debuff on his A1. Great, 75% land rate, great heals into things like Demon Lord Clan Boss. Very nice. On his A2, he brings in attack all enemies, 100% chance of placing decreased attack, or decreased crit damage debuff for 2 turns. That's a problem, right? The either or nature of this skill is a problem. If you land the decreased crit damage debuff and you're relying on his decreased attack into Demon Lord Clan Boss or Ice Golem, you can end up in hot water very quickly indeed. And what's really sad about Grush is that if he already, if he's moving very fast, or he's got like some cooldown reset or whatever, you got him in like a relentless set or something, I don't know, and he's already got decreased crit damage debuff active, you'd think if he was to use this A2 again, he would definitely place the decreased attack, but it doesn't work that way. Likewise, if you've already got a decreased attack debuff a champion on your team, and decreased attack debuff is already up against the boss, you'd think that he would automatically land decreased crit damage instead, again, doesn't work that way. He can just land another useless decreased attack debuff and sort of overlap it, and it's pointless, right? It's also a 4-turn cooldown, which is not ideal. He does bring some pretty damn good heals with continuous heal buffs as well into Demon Lord Clan Boss, and so, look, he's a pretty good Demon Lord Clan Boss champion, but you have to log in a long time and wait a long time to get your hands on Grush the Mangler from your login rewards track, and frankly, if you haven't solved the decreased attack issue and the healing issue by the time you pull Grush the Mangler, like in Demon Lord Clan Boss, what have you been doing in Raid all of this time, you know? It would take some extraordinarily unlucky pulls for Grush to be your answer into Demon Lord by the time you pull him, to be honest, man. Next up, we've got Ekemtum. I think I'm going to give Ekemtum a B. Some people might clutch their pearls about that, but frankly, I just haven't found an amazing amount of use for him on my main account, mostly because his main use comes in like Hard Mode Spider, abusing his passive and the way that it works in Hard Mode Spider. He's a decent damage dealer champion to bring into Hydra as well, but I've always had good Hex champions on my account. I've never needed the Hex, and as far as Hard Mode Spider goes, I've got like Thor on my account. You know, like killing off the spiderlings in Hard Mode Spider Zen has never been a problem. I've never needed a Kempton for that job. And so I can appreciate that he's a great champion, also brings a speed aura in all battles as well, but I've just never found great use for him on my own account, so I'm going to give him the B. Basher. Yeah, this guy's a D. I was recommended to build this guy from a comment way back. I can't remember who posted the comment or whatever, so I can't name and shame. I've not been impressed by this guy, man. Apparently, this was a good guy to build out for like wave content, maybe early game arena, that kind of thing. I said, you know what, screw it. Let's build him out, see what he can do, help out my Skinwalker's faction in Faction Wars. He did fine. It's fine, you know, like his A1 doesn't really, okay, that's a chance to place a weaken on a single target. Fair enough, it's okay against the Faction Wars bosses. Attack all enemies on his A2, increase the cooldown of each, of all skills on each enemy by 2 turns. Okay. It's not bad against waves, but I feel like if you're going to go into wave content, like Faction Wars or whatever, if you can just have a champion that stuns all enemies, or has like got like AoE provokes, or better yet, you just kill the waves before they can do anything, that's a lot more valuable than this skill. It doesn't hit very hard as well, from my experience. I built about in like pretty good gear when I first got him. He's since been like demoted to a bunch of like hand-me-down gear. Just now that focuses more on accuracy and speed and stuff like that. Because his damage just wasn't that great, man. I was relying on him to pump out some pretty good damage, and it just didn't really happen. If I'd pulled him earlier on the account, I might have a very, very different opinion of Basher, where I'm actually using him in Arena and stuff like that. This A2 skill in Arena, very, very good. If I was using him in Arena, I might give him like an A, you know? But that's not what I built him for, and so I kind of set myself up for disappointment a little bit with Basher. So maybe the D is unfair, but whatever. Zagala, this might surprise some people, man. A+. This champion actually shocked me. Okay, maybe A+ is a bit much. No, it's not. Screw it, man. It's my list. I can grade her how I want. I'm going to give her the A+, man. Ooh, I'm also seeing that we're almost towards the bottom of the list, man. I'm not really going to review the champions that aren't level 60 yet beyond this point, so we'll stop at, like, the Seeker, or maybe the Dark Elhain on this list, man. Zagala, I'm going to give her the A+, man. I use this champion in my Hard Mode Fire Knight team. Why this? Oh, I've just realized that I'm an idiot. There's actually a bunch of champions towards the bottom that I've also got to touch on and grade as well, so I'll hurry this along. Zagala hits like a bloody truck, okay? Way, way harder than I was expecting. Yes, she's 4 times empowered. Yes, she's max awakened. That all factors into things, man. But she has a triple hit at A3, attack all enemies 3 times. After the first hit, got a chance of placing decreased defense, strong version. And then on her A2, attacks one enemy, instantly activate her A3 skill if the target is killed by this attack, resulting in a stage 10 hard dragon team that clears like this. So the Zagala's job against this first wave is just to apply that decreased defense on a triple hitter, smack enemies up a little bit, and just prepare them to die by the hand of Warmaster Athorian. On the second wave, that's where she really comes into her own. She hits pretty damn hard as well, 170k with her A1. It's like nothing to sniff at. So the first wave goes down, and then on this second wave, we have Zagala here on the right, open up with her A1 skill, just to rough the enemies up a little bit, get them down a little bit low, so that then she can come in with her A2 and finish off the kill and trigger her A3 all over again against the second wave, as she's about to do right here. And it happens like pretty damn consistently. And so on we progress onto the boss, where the Zagala is going to be bringing weakened debuff and decreased defense debuff against the boss as well, which she's about to throw out the decreased defense just now. There it is. But you'll find that she can hit like a truck against this boss as well, man. It's kind of ridiculous, you know. Oh god, my Mithrala used her poison cleanse a little bit too soon there, but 300,000 damage from the Zagala's AO1 against the boss just now. She's going to come in with crack armor again in just a sec. Let's see how hard that hits as well as that comes on in just now. Oh, never mind, that was her A1 all over again. And so, in fact, here it comes, the Devastate for like nearly 500,000 damage. Dude, she's not playing games with these damage numbers, man. For an epic champion, it's not max HP damage that she's dealing. It's just outright raw damage with these smacks. You know what I'm saying? And so, final damage clocks on in. Yeah, she out-damages the Royal Guard in this team. And yeah, I mean, it's World Master Athorian, right? She's not going to out-damage him, but still, she holds her own and brings those key debuffs. And so I hope I've made the case. Zagala, beast. Next up, Duck the Pierced. I'm going to give him an A because I know how bloody good he is for progression. Again, built him on the account mostly for faction wars on my account. For that job, he's done an incredible job with his provoke on his A3, and then his decreased attack, decreased defense, very kind of Stag Knight-esque A2 that he's got going on here as well. You know, if Stag Knight would be like an A+ champion on this account, I don't actually have a 6-star Stag Knight on my main account, but if Stag Knight would be an A+, Duck the Pierced, it's hard to give him anything lower than just like a solid A. Only constraint is that requires to be built with 100% crit rate in order to get his decreased defense on his A2, so he needs crit rate gauntlets, which is a little bit of an annoying limitation, but not a really tall ask. You know, crit rate gauntlets exist after all. Next up, Old Hermit Yorg. I'm going to give Yorg a B or a C. I'm going to give him a C+, actually. Where do I really use him? I use him in Faction Wars for the most part for his revive, his 10-meter boost, and his increased attack on his A2, and nice as well. Mostly build out the Yorg, to be honest, because if it's HP burn on his A1, I just wanted more HP burn champions for any time I run into Frostspider in Cursed City, and you just need an HP burner, or you just can't progress. That's it, really, with Old Hermit Yorg. Magna, D. I'm going in on Magna, dude. I'm going in, man. It's a good job it's this late in the video. Most of you guys only watch like 45% of the videos. You know, most people have tuned out by now. So I'm allowed to go in, man. For you special few that have stuck around to this point in the video, man, you guys are going to get it now. Oh, man. This champion, way overrated, man. The most overrated player since bloody Bruno Fernandes, okay? Well, at least Roy Keane would have you believe. Magna, no, I don't believe in this guy. And I built this guy very early in my account as well. It was one of like the first epic champions I built or pulled on the account when I was still brand new to Raid. Everybody in the comments was screaming, oh my god, Magna, blah, blah. You gotta build Magna, bro, he's gonna be the sick arena nuker, blah, blah, blah. You know what? He was for about a month. And then like I don't know, like Rathalos was the login reward legendary, he replaced Magna, and then the next login reward legendary came out, and by then Magna was gone. Like, I didn't use him in Tag Arena even as soon as 30 days after taking this guy to 6 stars, and that's kind of all he's good for as well. It's all about his A2, attack all enemies, place an extra hit on enemies without HP burn debuffs, and so you're just relying on getting this double hit off on this A2 and just smacking people really hard and getting them dead, but like as soon as you have like a Genbo on the account, or an Ethelyn, or like any one of the login reward legendary nukers on your account, Magna becomes obsolete very, very quickly in the likes of Arena. He's also an HP based nuker, which is important. If you've got an like an attack based nuker, something like a Zagala, you can buff her with increased attack in Arena and smack everybody in a single attack. Great stuff, right? If you've got a defense based nuker like a Morag, you can buff her with increased defense, and that will increase her damage on her A2 skill, attack all enemies, you smack everybody down. Good stuff. With a Magna, there's no increased HP buff in this game. That's a problem. Just means that HP-based nukers just cannot scale as far as your defense-based and your attack-based nukers in this game. They just can't. I feel like Magna was a huge epic skill tome dump as well to build this guy out. I was just greatly let down by this guy. He's one of the last options that I turn to as a damage dealer, even into wave content, because it only brings one attack all enemies skills, and while it's like a pretty good one, it's kind of all he brings. It's very like, it's just very underwhelming, man. Not a big fan. Next up, Alua. I'm going to give her an A+, straight up. probably the best epic 10-meter controller in the game, at least against certain bosses. I mean, she just completely solves Fire Knight. She's incredible into Darkfire. I use her in my hard mode Darkfire team, even right now, even though she's not actually level 60 yet. Doesn't matter. She doesn't even need the skill bucks. I just booked her for CVC points at one point. Yeah. Fantastic, fantastic cheat code epic right here. Husk, I can't judge. He's not 6 stars, and as a damage dealer, I can't really judge him for that. Thalesia, I'm going to give Thalesia an A. I think that this champion is actually sleeper, man. I can't give her an A. I've got to give her a B. I can't be that generous. I've got to give her a B. I think that she's better than most people think. I think that she's actually pretty high quality into Hydra for just getting started, where you just want some good AoE damage dealers, especially those that bring decreased defense debuff against all of the Hydra heads, great. And also when attacking on a passive, enemies under decreased defense have a chance of placing a hex debuff on them for a couple turns. And she's on her A2 as well, attack all enemies, increase the duration of all debuffs and enemies by 1 turn. Like, all of these things are just great tools into Hydra, man. She brings some debuff spread as well on her A1. She's just solid. She's really held back, however, by her rather low base defense and especially her low base HP. She's just tough to keep alive without any red stars on the champion into Hydra. So that's like the main thing that holds her back and stops her from being, you know, a bit more of a badass. But for getting started into like normal and high difficulty Hydra, she can do a job. Next up, we've got Doom Priest. I can't give Doom Priest anything lower than an A grade. Frankly, again, doesn't need skill bucks. Her passive is unreal. You find use for this debuff cleanse and for this heal that she gets every single turn, basically everywhere in the game. Great healer into Nether Spider, Golem, Hydra, Chimera even, you know, just a very, very good and easy to build champion. Next up, man, Rector Drath. Similar to Doom Priest, I'm going to give Rector an A as well. I was tempted to give her a little bit of a higher grade, but frankly, I feel like I was blessed with some of the god tier healers that I got on my account when I was first getting started, and so I found very, very little use for Rector Drath compared to what I was expecting to get out of her. I think she is probably one of the better epic sport champions in the game, let's be real. But for use that I got out of her on my account at least, I can't give her like a crazy, crazy high score. Next up, Geomancer A+. Moving on, genuinely, I'm not going to cover Geomancer again. We talk about Geomancer all the time on the channel, and I'm just tired of doing it. So, yeah, incredible champion, obviously. I don't think much more needs to be said about him. Still use him as my chief damage dealer into Demon Lord Clan boss to this day as well, which tells you everything you need to know. Given the state that my account's currently in, the fact I'm still using Geo for that job, yeah. Next up, Morag Bronzelock. I'll give Morag a... I'm going to give Morag a B-. You know, she's solid. On my free-to-play accounts, I feel like I appreciate the hell out of Morag, especially if you don't have an ally attack champion on the early game of your account. When you get your Morag from just the Plarium Player rewards program, you're going to get her for free anyway. If she's like the only ally attack champion on your account, you're building Morag for Fire Knight. There's just like no two ways about it, you know. It's very, very difficult to come by a scenario in the early game where you're not building Morag when you get your hands on her right for this ally attack skill. Very, very good champion in her own right. I will just say that if you pulled something like a Farrakhan for use in Fire Knight before you get your hands on your Morag, yeah, you're building the Farrakhan instead. Like, it's a no-brainer. He's good into more areas of the game than Morag, but Morag in her own right, very, very solid champion. She's a champion that basically everyone's going to build, at least for Faction Wars anyway, so yeah, I think that I'm fine to give her the good old B-. Good old Genbo. Actually, I can't remember what I give to Ethelyn now. To be honest, did I give Ethelyn like a C or a B or something? I'd give Genbo about the same. I don't think that there's much separating these two champions when it comes to their nukage capability in Arena. The advantage of Genbo is that he brings increased crit rate, so he's easy to build. You only have to build him with 70% crit rate before he then attacks all enemies and smacks everybody, and that's great stuff. He also brings the speed aura in arena battles, so that's nice. The advantage of the Ethelyn is that he brings block active skills, so if you fail to secure the kill against enemies in Arena, they can't do a whole lot, you know? So it's kind of a bit of a trade-off. I think they're about equal. So whatever I give to Ethelyn, I'm going to give that to Genbo as well. Taragi, not yet level 60. Either is Oboro. Meseliac Priest. Man, I gotta be real. I think this is another A+ epic champion, man. I think this is one of the better epic champions in the game. Meseliac Priest is amazing if you pull him early in your account, man, for poisons against Demon Lord. Brings poisons on his A1, poison activation on the A2, and then crucially AoE poisons and poison sensitivity on his A3, which makes him a solo dungeon monster. Use this guy to solo dragon tournaments. I use this guy to solo ice golem tournaments and just level up food champions during those tournaments as well for just maximum efficiency while farming that content. And yeah, his passive makes him even easier to keep alive as well. Whenever a poison debuff is activated on an enemy, increase this champion's HP and defense by 5%, stacking up to 25. Very, very good. Nice and easy to keep this guy alive. Regeneration gear, immortal gear, kind of goes without saying. If you're going to use him to solo ice golem, try and build him with like at least like 250 300-ish resistance. That's going to help out a lot as well. I should really probably throw him in a resistance banner. But yeah, solid champ. Next up, Pan the Boarhorn. Okay, so Pan was a bit of a passion project building this guy out, man. I wanted to believe in Pan the Boarhorn. I couldn't really understand why his reviews were like a little bit middling, and Hell Hades and stuff like that as well in particular. He's got a double hit at A1 with a chance of placing freeze. It is a 50% land rate freeze, and so I did use him to get my foot in the door into hard mode Fire Knight. The issue is that as soon as you pull like a Creodan or a Neldor, and then you eventually get your hands on the Clan Shop legendary. I forgot his name, okay, but the guy who's also like freeze debuffs and stuff on his A1. As soon as you've got these champions on your account, well, they're just better freeze debuffers and just better Fire Knight champions than Pan, so he immediately gets yeeted out of your hard mode Fire Knight team. And so how is he outside of hard mode Fire Knight? Well, he's fine. He's okay. He brings an attack all enemies, self-buffs with increased attack and increased speed on this A2, which is nice, you know. His speed aura is in dungeons only, which is a bit sad. He brings a triple hit at A3 that ignores some defense, but frankly, it doesn't hit very hard anyway. And that's what he's really lacking. He's just lacking the damage to be that useful in wave content either. I gotta give him like a C-. Good for getting your foot in the door inside of hard mode Fire Knight, but realistically, you're replacing him as soon as possible with a more efficient legendary option as soon as that option does become available. And so there you have it, man. Every single epic champion that I have 6-starred and level 60'd on this account, graded and marked. What do you guys think, man? Was I way off with any of my grades on these picks? No, it's all subjective, man, and it was handed down from a tablet on Mount Sinai, so I'm just reading the word of God here, okay, man? These reviews can't be questioned. Thanks so much, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, man. If you did, make sure to like on the video. And of course, if you're looking to start up a new raid account in 2025, make sure to get that done the right way by clicking on the beginner promo link that you can find down below at the top of the video description box, man, to get off to the best start possible. Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to go rest my voice, and I'm going to catch all of you all just a tad bit later, man.